Okay, so now we are really getting into algebra. This is our introduction officially to monomials and polynomials with some vocabulary. So we are going to take a look at the important thing. After this lesson, you're going to be able to classify, I'm going to write this on here, polynomials and know some terms. So I'll say key terms. That's all going to become clear when we start to talk. So there's some vocabulary here that you may not know. A monomial is a number, a variable, or the product of a number and one or more variables with whole number exponents. So we've been talking about monomials. We've been doing some things with monomials, but now we're going to define monomials. So some examples of monomials will look large here. Monomial would be this. A 10. It's also called a constant, so a number like 10, 9, 7, etc. It has a degree of 0, which we'll talk more about. Something like 3x is also a monomial. 3x is, if you go back up here, it's the product of a number and one or more variables. So here we remember from last week that we have an exponent of 1. This is the product of a number and a variable. It has a degree 1 because of this exponent 1. So there we have a degree of 1. This is the product of a number and one or more variables. It has a degree of 3 because of this exponent 2 and this exponent 1. The last one is a monomial. It's the product of a number and a variable, and it has a degree of 5 because of this exponent. So that's monomial. So the degree of the number of monomial is the sum of the exponents and the variables. So a degree of a non-zero constant term is 0. So here is our constant term. It has a degree of 0 because there is no exponent. These are not monomials because of different reasons. So 5 plus x is not a monomial. It's actually a binomial. There's two terms. Mono means 1. A monomial cannot have a variable in the denominator, so this is not a monomial. A monomial cannot have a variable for an exponent, so this is 4 to the a power. And the variable must have a whole number exponent. So this is x to the negative 1. That didn't copy very well. So this does not work for us. So let's erase that and just show you again. That's a negative 1. Okay, whole number. This is a good chance to review those numbers. Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. This is not a whole number. This is an integer. So those are some terms that you're going to need to have memorized. We'll practice them, but take some time with that. So let's find the degree of each of these monomials. So, of course, I'm expecting that you're going to try this on your own. We're watching this together in class, or you're doing it alone, so I will be pausing the video. I would expect you to pause the video, and then we'll come back together. So because some kids are watching this alone, I am going to give the answers, but in class, I would definitely be having you give the answers. So we have squared. There's no other variable, so the degree is 2. Here, we have a cubed and a 1, so our degree is the sum of those, degree 4. Here we have a 3 and a 3, so the degree is the sum of those, which is a degree of 6. This is a constant term. It never changes. It has a degree of 0. And that is our terminology for monomials. There are no more pages in my slideshow, so we're done.